The note saying that you all are on low tide, correct? You've all
What?
read that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, we're all what?
The note that you said was to lead you to low tide, and that's where you're all essentially meeting. But that's not where our story is going to begin. All right.
Does it begin on a boat?
No, not yet. It's actually going to go back about a month and a half. Now then, don't worry about stats. Don't worry about. Okay, now I gotta turn off the music. Fucking hell. We're gonna go back about a month and a half before any of you knew anything of the Assyrian lands calling for heroes and soldiers alike. Don't worry about stats. Don't worry about abilities. Just tell me how you'd react to this. And it's gonna take me a while to learn all your bloody names. Bran.
Yes.
It's an incredibly cold and distant afternoon as you arrive onto the said town. The old man's description was as accurate as it could be. It's a quaint little port-side village on the long side of a river. It has beautiful green hills around it, but even now you can see a twisted brown death curving around them. Even in the midday sun, there seems to be almost a lack of light. And as you come across the hill that overlooks the city proper, there is this miasma that seems to be seeping out of the ground. This fetid purple smoke that seems to be almost choking everything. As you come across to the hill, you can see in front of you the entirety of the town, including a small well in the center and maybe half a dozen buildings, as well as a large dock that goes out into the river. The old man said there was something happening here that was taking the town. Where do you start? Hello?
You said that there was some sort of fog or miasma coming out of holes in the ground. Is that limited to immediately within the village, or does it sort of come out from the village?
Being on the hill that you're on, you can sort of overlook it and see it. It's not necessarily coming out of it, but it's almost sort of flowing with a kind of unnatural current. You can't really make heads or tails of it, but it's about 2 or 3 feet high.
Okay. Have I ever seen a phenomenon like that before?
You've seen similar. It would make sense that if something's trying to poison the landscape, it would create this sort of reaction where the air around it would sort of try to fight it and fail, is the best way I can describe it. You don't know what or where the thing is that's doing this. That is until you take a look over at the nearby well. And you can actually see something move out of the current that you thought the smoke was doing. But instead it's this pink, gibbering abomination that seems to crusp over a small lip of stone. It seems to have 3 lower jaws crusping across 3 separate eyes that are in this centered pink mass that is indescribable as much as it is impossible. You don't have a terribly good sight on it.
Okay. I don't see any people in the village. This doesn't seem to have been a recent effect.
The old man seemed to put it that this only happened a few days ago, but he described it as it was happening. This looks like it has happened. You're only 2 days out. Right. Well, you get a chance to think. Josh, how do you pronounce your character's name?
Enid.
Enid. Enid, as you continuously pull your way down this river, you are lamenting the fact that those ingrates upstream would not even attempt to take you down the river. Your destination is down there, and yet all of them seem to be scared, talking about some sort of weird creature. But this being the center of this being the center of the empire, there's nothing weird out here. There's not even lizard folk for miles. So even if it took you 2 silver, you did get yourself a raft, and you're now about half journeys down the river. With the sun beating down upon you, you start getting kind of thirsty, And then that's when you see it, a small dock jutting into the side. Without any attendants, you decide to pull up to it to see what's going on, and it's only then that the clouds seem to come. The clouds seem to be a sign of good faith, or sign of good. Fuck my dyslexia. Sign of good fortune. As now the blistering heat that was coming down upon you is now this sort of early New England morning kind of feel. You brush up onto the dock, and you don't see anyone. You do see a small town, half a dozen so buildings, and it has this sort of deep fog that's rolling in. But with it being so hot during the summer and right next to a river, it doesn't really seem all that different. What would you like to do?
I start heading towards the center of town, I guess.
There is a small center, and that's where you can actually see the well in question. It seems to be untouched, and when you look over to your left, you can see a chapel or a steeple of some sort. So you figured during the midday, the steeple's where probably all the people are at this point. Those religious folks being what they are. You head over onto the well, and you do see a bucket and a small ladle, so you can get some water if you choose to.
Yeah, it's kind of getting hot out. I want something to drink.
All right. You go to get some water, and while we do that, Bran,
Yeah.
in a moment's contemplation, you now begin to see something unique. How would you describe how you look right now? You knit.
I've got short brown hair, some pretty heavy leather armor, 2 short swords, and a hand crossbow at my side.
Josh, how about you?
I'm sorry, I missed out what you said.
What are you dressed like right now?
Oh, I'm in just regular mage's robes. I have a quarterstaff on my back, a dagger at my side, a fanny pack, and I'm 8 feet tall, about 320 pounds, and I look like the biggest most badass wizard you ever see.
I was about to say, Bran, you see a sudden movement in the miasma as this large, sort of pale, like humanoid, as far as you can tell, wearing flowing robes and honestly slightly ready for a fight, starts moving in. Your initial thought is you've now found the master who's been creating all this, but as he slowly walks up onto the well, you can see an almost obliviousness to him. Not to his own fault, but to almost he doesn't realize what's going on. You knit? Well, what do you do?
How far away is he?
About 15-30 feet, but the steeple is right next to where your hill is. If you were dexterous enough, you could probably leap to it and still keep a vantage point.
Okay, I would like to do that.
Alright. Like Assassin's Creed, and forgetting which way you were going, you leap off the small hill that you are onto the steeple and climb up top, shedding a couple shingles along the way. You get within about 10 or so feet of the large individual, overlooking him now. You knit? You start to pull up the water, and the heat is gone, but you still feel incredibly thirsty, like almost like your tongue is made of sand at this point. And as you pull up the water and pull in a little ladle of it, you take a quick second to look at it and realize the water is full of something.
Is it like full of something non-water colored?
You pull out a small handkerchief and pour it out almost like a filter, and you see the handkerchief wriggling as there are these small purple-like worms in it, or leeches, but it's incredibly thin.
I toss everything out of the bucket and just let the bucket fall into the well.
All right. As you splash out the water, and letting the bucket go, you hear it hit something. And that's when you look over and you see just on the opposite end of the well is this larger than it should be, pink amalgamate. of just legs, arms, and miscellaneous pieces. It actually seems to be sweating a type of blood that is almost ichor and rotten at the very second it hits the air. And the second it sees you, you hear it. As this thing echoes out a scream, the smoke clears. And that's when you see all around you these pink pools. Oh, sorry. I didn't know how loud it was going to be. You see these pink pools that pick themselves up, made of bones and skin. And they almost seem to be staring at you. Currently, you two are operating at the same time. What do you do?
I didn't mean to make that roll. Ignore that.
That's fine. Like I said, don't worry about that stuff. Just tell me what you do.
Let's see if he's got its attention right now.
He has all of their attentions.
Does the beast appear to be magically sensitive?
It's hard to tell at this distance. It does appear to be not of this realm.
Okay. Taking that in mind and seeing that this guy is clearly, at least initially in this moment, not the cause of this problem, I'm going to reach into my pack and pull out a lead case, and then I'm just going to open it up and see if there's a reaction.
All right. And as you do open this up, you can sort of see this as you hear a small click over on the top left, on top of the steeple. There is a pause with everything around, as if all of their eyes seem to look at the steeple now, and then just return to what they were doing, noticing but not seemingly affected. Unit, you now have a pink amalgamate looking at you, and all of his friends.
Okay. I draw my weapons and I start to dance my blade song dance, and then I take up a defensive position, just wait to see if this thing's gonna attack me.
All right. As you draw your quarterstaff, you make a small rune with your left hand, and at this moment, a ring of arcane energy opens up above you and peers into the endless void as this large 4-foot bastard sword descends from the heavens and actually drives a hole into the earth next to you, picking itself up now floating at your back. And they do react. Now half of them going to the steeple, and now another half still climbing onto you at the well. Bran, you can see this guy is clearly outnumbered. Although, apparently magically sensitive.
Taking that into account, I replace the lead case. I look at the large pink beast, and I'm going to use a bonus action to cast a hex on it.
All right.
And then I am going to draw my short swords to prepare to attack.
All right. It is roughly about 10 feet or so from you to it. This is a very small town. And as you do this, drawing your weapons to each side, you say a small hum. You have a small hum as this sort of red, not arcane, but this red error is the only way that can be described, seems to leech off of your arm and drag onto the beast, visible to Ynit. It seems to be hurt by it, if nothing else, which is odd. Ynit?
I'm still waiting for this thing or whatever, these things to attack me. I'm not gonna just to meet this beast, some kind of new life form. I don't want to just start attacking it.
They are. The one across the well actually begins to leap forward, not moving towards you, but actually extending its fluid mass at you to try and bite. It is attacking you.
Well, as soon as it goes hostile, I say a little prayer to myself, and then I cast Burning Hands at it.
All right. Don't worry about stats. This is all theater of the mind right now.
I just wanted to push it. Yeah.
With only a second's hesitation, you see this thing lunge forward, and then you see a hole erupt from within it, as this small bead of fire erupts from the ends of your fingertips, actually extending through and burning it and the two behind it. The miasma seeming to almost be flammable in a sense, and torch these things. What's left is nothing more than a pool of blood and bones, curdling under your arcane power. Bran?
An idea just occurred to me, so I'm going to leap. Well, first I'm going to undo the lead case and just have it sit free in my pack so that I'm attracting the attention. And then I'm going to leap down from the steeple next to this odd wizard. And as I land, I'm going to look at him. I'm going to say, clearly you're sensitive to magic. I need you to look at the miasma and tell if it's a transmutation.
You see this oddly leathered-clad shadow appear almost out of nowhere and command you.
Well, that's awful forward. We haven't even, traded names yet.
Oh.
But I guess I'll inspect the miasma. I don't know what you want me to roll for that.
There is no roll. It's just
Okay.
Just tell me what you do.
I start just using my sense of magic to see what is actually driving this force of this miasma around, and see if I can find the source of it.
All right. Not wanting to leave yourself defenseless, you actually touch the end of your blade a little, and it spins and starts almost rotating around you like a holographic screen. You can actually see little runes pop up telling you little bits of information. You can tell that these things are organic. You can tell that these things are drawn to something, and you can tell it is transmutative in nature. What you can also tell is the strength of them seems to come from the well. That is where the strongest source of this, whatever it is coming from.
All right, so I relay the information to my new friend here that yes, it is transmutative and seems to be coming from the well.
Okay, keeping my guard up and continuing to look around to make sure we're not surprised or anything. I'm going to say, I'm really worried that all of these beasts and things here are the villagers, and the fog has transformed them somehow.
Right. And as you do say this, the amount of amalgamates still there would populate this village. And it is looking at it, and even looking at the ones that Unit destroyed, you get the impression that this is probably a little too far gone to be savable.
Oh, good. I kind of felt guilty if it turned out they were reversible.
No, they got full Jeff Goldblum in the flood at this point. If there was a soul, it's not there now. And while this is happening, you see another 10 or so just start creeping up, sliming across the ground, actually leaving a steaming mess of something in their wake. They are all coming towards you. Both of you. What do you do?
I'm going to look at my friend. How much fire magic do you know?
You have an infinite supply.
I can bring a lot of fire. Don't worry.
Okay, focus on the well, destroy what's inside it, I'll protect you.
And when he does that, I jump up on top of the edge of the well and I aim both of my hands down and just unleash as much fire as I can.
All right. With Bran taking the defensive position, actually stabbing another one of these amalgamates into nothing, you put one foot onto where the rim of the well is, and in an instant your blade swings by, cutting off the wooden supports of the housing of it, leaving together just this well staring up into the heavens. And you can now see what was down there, as there is this writhing pool of pink, fleshy, almost maggots now, the larger versions of what you pulled out of the water before. In an instant, you drive everything in your power into one single pyrotic blast, and you burn your way through it. Another scream echoes out, and you can see all the amalgamates just shriek in pain. Your ears are actually deafened at this point, as in a few seconds, the well is now completely dried and filled with this black tar, and the amalgamates around you just slowly begin to fade into nothing. The miasma actually flowing into the river and disappearing. In a few short seconds, the sun now begins to peer out of the clouds. And the heat is back again, unfortunately.
Well, that seems to be over. You got any water?
Yes.
I'm not slightly parched.
Alright.
Indeed, it is hot.
While you two chit-chat and get to know each other, you eventually decide the fastest way to any sort of civilization is down the river again. You forage for a little supplies out of the town and give a prayer for what may have happened to these poor unfortunates, and head down to that said river. In only a few hours, you reach the next town and tell them what has happened. Some of them unnerved by the thought, but they know what happens in these parts if there's a hunter hunting something. It is at this point that you are both given a reward. You are given this small voucher and this message. It is a ticket to a ship in a town called Low Tide that is at the end of this river. And they're apparently asking for more adventurers, heroes, arcanists, and what have you. And this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's where you two stories are. Chuck and Aramax. Your tale begins roughly at the same time, but in a much different sense. Chuck?
Well, what am I doing?
Nice. Chuck, you're no stranger to a drunken night of debauchery, if you so choose to do so. You're also not unfamiliar with the thought of waking up in a strange place with a headache. But when you wake up in a strange place behind wooden bars, seeing a couple orcs around a campfire squabbling over gold, this is a new one on you. You slowly begin to rise as you find your hands are bound with this cheap twine, almost, and you can see you're in the middle of an orc encampment, though at the time it is mostly empty. Your mind's filled with what may have happened in the last hour, and your natural resistance to physical trauma has cleared your thoughts a little. You remember being in a local town when a couple of individuals started running in saying there were orcs coming in. There are orcs taking the city! Run! Run! That's when you go out to do your manliest of manly duties. And then you remember a large log hitting you in the skull.
Oh.
Yeah, it hates to get cheap-shotted. Alright. You raise yourself up onto your ass with your legs ascended forward while you are inside this cage of sorts. You can see 3 orcs around a fire about good 20 feet away from you. From what it looks like, the rest of this encampment is probably out hunting. What do you do?
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. The rest of the encampment's probably what?
It looks like the rest of the warband is out hunting.
Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna start punching my way out.
Your hands are currently bound at the moment.
Can I make a strength check to just break them?
No, you just... Don't worry about rolls, don't worry about stats, don't worry about abilities. Just tell me what you do.
Prodigiously strong.
Alright. Without a second's thought, you actually just widen your elbows enough, and the force of your knuckles hitting each other is enough to just break the little bit of twine. As you do this, however...
I punch the rope bindings off, is that what you're saying?
No, you essentially turn both your hands into crowbars. And just wedge it off. It was nothing to you.
That's right.
It is as you do this and the rope falls down, you see that you're sitting on someone. Armax.
Yes?
You should have had the orc. He was right there in front of you. You know the spell, it should have knocked him unconscious. Didn't expect to light yourself on fire. Didn't expect to go flying 10 feet in the opposite direction. Didn't expect to hit that wall. But now as you wake up, you now have this large humanoid sitting on top of you. Your hand's still cheaply bound as well. Don't really know where you are right now. What do you do?
I politely notify the individual that I am not a chair.
Chuck? Your seat cushion is now talking to you. Zach. Okay.
I say I punch him and say, "Be quiet, chair." I'm thinking.
Look, I know
my mustache.
Look, I know I have enough feathers to be a chair, but I am actually a person, and I need you to get off of me so I can breathe and survive and leave.
I have an enchanted chair.
You do not own me.
I should have switched these groups. Alright, the two of you are starting to regain your consciousness. And as you begrudgingly get off the very small Aarakocra, blue in shade, missing one of his eyes. Yeah, surprisingly so.
He was definitely comfy.
You two, however, are still in the same predicament. Each of you were in a local city right before it got raided by orcs. And now you are both in a cage. Freed, for the moment, but still within a cage. What do you do?
The bars off the cage.
Want to wreck this shit?
Yeah. Also, I break the bars off the cage in the most manly way possible. I also like to note that I am wearing a shirt that will ripple and basically evaporate as I attempt to do this thing.
Like the Hulk, you slowly get up and just you don't even think about it. The shirt just comes off into little tiny pieces that disintegrate into dust.
Right.
And you kick the center of the lock, which should have stopped a regular human, but the lock being metal and the cage you're in being wood, it immediately disintegrates and falls across the floor, rattling along as it hits the back heel of an orc.
No lock is a match for Chuck Manley.
Few things are. Armax, there are now several orcs looking at the two of you. They are a lot bigger than you and your friend combined. Don't worry about what you can do, just tell me what you do.
Don't worry about what you can do.
Don't worry about what you do, just do something.
Yes.
And it may be cool.
Then I cast death. No, I suppose I would try to, I'd try to, charm one of them.
Okay. The furthest one from the two of you, which is obviously the larger of the two, is staring down Armax. And Armax seems to just stare back at him. And then in his bird-like way cringes a smile, and the orc behind him also puts on a nice little smile. Puts his hand
Snap
in the two.
finger guns at him.
Basically.
They like it when you snap finger guns at him.
This now smiling and jovial orc, covered in scars, puts his hand on the two of his other friends and says something to them. And they're now currently distracted as to why their friend apparently does not want to rip the two of you in half. You have a moment's reprieve. Chuck?
Chuck Manley gives him the old 1-2 and immediately starts punching each orc that is not currently charmed.
They only have a second to turn around, and before they could finish the first word, one of them disappears out of frame as you are now beating the ever-living shit out of him, driving what few brain cells he has into the dirt. The other one, not knowing what to do, realizes that his friend is under some sort of spell and looks to the bird. And he is now charging at you. Armax? You have about 400 pounds of meat and piss coming at you. What do you do? Armax. Oh, fucking.
I'm here. I'm
okay.
here. I'm just thinking for a moment.
Gonna collect his thoughts.
Yes, I'm
You
going to
were knocked
challenge-
unconscious.
I'm going to challenge him to a battle of wits. No, can I can I splash a bunch of acid in his face?
All right.
That stops me from running.
All right. You put your hands together, forming the small room that your instructors once gave you, and you try to conjure a ball of acid in front of him. And unfortunately, you get that feeling in the back of your neck, like, oh, I didn't do this right. As the orc just immediately turns into a red mist, burning from the inside out, and crumples into bones in front of you. You fucked up the spell, but it seemed to have the same effect.
Chuck Manley looks horrified.
Chuck Manley is currently covered in his own version of orc jam, as where there was once a skull, there is now a crater. You stand up, and now there's still this dumbfounded orc looking at the two of you, kind of wanting to know what's supposed to be going on, but is kind of just
Assure you.
there.
I sure you can.
He looks to Aramax and puts up his hand to say, what he should be doing, as his jaw begins to be driven into his own skull. There is no mouth on this orc now. There is just two different foreheads, one of them of flesh and one of them of bone, as he falls over dead.
Yes.
Without any sort of obstacles in your path, because damn, you handled this quite well. You see a small chest full of supplies, and you gather what was once yours, because you're not going to leave them behind.
Chuck gives him the Hulk punch in the shoulder and says, "I beat you 2-1."
And Armax, you do now fall 90 degrees. The man not knowing his own strength.
I'll have you know that I turned someone into jelly today.
Pooh! I did the same thing.
And with that, the two of you gather your belongings and head back to the nearest form of civilization. While doing so, you meet across a couple of local guardsmen for the Tamarine Empire. You tell them where you were and what has happened, and they are actually able to intercept before the entire town is burned. You arrive there as heroes with, the cavalry literally coming in by your sides, and you are heralded for it. And in return, the next night, after many drinks and much free poon if you choose to partake of it, the head captain of the...
Oh yeah, Chuck Manley's all over that.
I figured. The head captain, before he leaves, hands out actually, no. Armax.
Yes.
You come hurling out of a bar, hauling 90% of your own ass, as you come across Chuck holding a voucher and the same note the other two, or the same note that you read earlier.
Yeah.
Without further ado, and without wanting to cause a stir, you convince Chuck, whether verbally or magically, that you should go head out and start your own way down this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you head upwards of the path towards a little town called Low Tide.
And I promise you, this time it's not a timeshare.
And with that, 1 month later, all four of you arrive in this small little town. And I can finally change the fucking music.
I mean, you could have changed it half an hour ago and we'd have all been okay with it.
Yeah, I could have, but I have to establish dominance.
Oh, I'm gonna pee all over you the next time I see you.
If only you knew I'd like... Oh, what? Nope, that should be... That's
What?
on the wrong layer. Ignore that.
I saw nothing.
Correct. That is the right answer. Now then, out of the two groups, who do you think would have shown up here first? who's the bright-eyed and starry-eyed adventurers?
Oh, Charles Theodore Manley, the third Esquire, would definitely be there first.
I don't know about bright-eyed, starry-eyed adventurers, but Bran's pretty efficient when he decides to do something.
All right.
I can fly, so I have no obstacles over me.
Yes, but you do have Chuck.
Chuck is not an obstacle. Chuck is an asset.
Chuck is his own obstacle.
Chuck turns obstacles into doors.
Well played.
Accurate.
Gonna make a note. All right.
Oh my
Also-
god, that picture is awesome.
Yes. I'll say since Bran literally put on his character sheet he's neurotic, I'm going to say you and Ynit arrived here first, traveling down the river. You come across to the opening of Lowside, and it is a simple port town, though larger than the one you were at before up the river. This one actually has ships coming in and out of it. From what information you gathered, Low Tide is actually a major port on the low end side. It is one of the larger hubs, but it's only for ships going out to the New World, to Asiri. And other than that, you two don't really know much other than it. Following the cobblestone path, you can see where the docks are, and looking onto it, you do see crowds and masses of people. Arcanists and arsonists and warriors and wrathbringers. You can see the manliest of manly and the dangerous of the dangerous, all gathering around ships. What do you two do?
Does it look like the crowd specifically is just going to the ships, or is there a line towards several desks or tables for any sort of registry?
Make a perception check. Yeah, now I'm going to care about numbers. You got your fantasy, now we're back in reality. Alright.
That's way better than I could do.
With your hunter eyes, you can actually just stand on top of a rock, and you do see this halfling individual in a fine top hat and a nice suit, standing on top of a box, shouting into a cone, holding up what looks like more of the vouchers. And you can see the people coming up to him and handing him the vouchers, and he's pointing them towards different ships.
Okay. Doing my best to make sure my eyes are tunnel visioned on him, but all my other senses are everywhere else. I just, vaguely gesture towards Ynit to follow me and to go towards the man.
Alright. If that's what you two are doing, you then head out, following the small path and surprisingly cutting through the crowd a lot faster than you do. You should. You come across to this small gnomish individual, which you now see is sporting a lovely mustache and a monocle, though they are both a little too large for him. And you get the impression it's mostly for show. You hear him calling out, "Vouchers, vouchers! All tread to the New World must go through yours truly."
I have no voucher, but I do have this back scratcher.
Damn it. You do, however, have a voucher.
I want to insight on him to make sure this guy is not just conning people.
Okay. Roll an insight. This man is a quick talker. You can tell by the way he sort of shouts offhandedly to one side, but still takes tickets with the other. This is a guy who'd run a 3-card Monty. However, you can also see him a little intimidated, like he's trying to be on his best behavior, because he is surrounded by people who are very dangerous and you probably don't want to see pissed. You get the sense he's legitimate, at least for today.
Okay. Then I will walk towards him and pull out my voucher.
Do you follow him?
I do.
Alright. The two of you bump shoulder to shoulder to this sea of people, and you eventually get to the front, and you see him. Ah, 2 new ones! Let me see your vouchers. You see him putting on like this half-crooked smile, missing teeth everywhere.
I do not smile back and give him the voucher, very matter-of-factly.
And in an instant, he swipes it from your hands, and he's already reading it before you have a chance to react to him. Ah, you got the old ones. You want the Saint Monty at the end of the harbor. Give it to them there, and he hands it back to you.
Okay, I take the voucher and follow his directions.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's going on. Armax, Chuck. After procuring some horses at some point in your adventure, you ride up into the quaint little town of Low Tide, which lives up to its name in smell alone, as this place does smell like a harbor at low tide. This is the place where your vouchers and the message were told to bring you. What do you do?
I guess we'll scan the area to see where the main place is as well.
Alright, make a perception check. With advantage, since you can literally fly. Fucking hell, I'm glad I told you advantage.
I'm not the wisest.
Correct.
I don't think we have one of those.
Which is weird since two of you have wisdom saves.
Not me.
I'm pretty stinking wise.
Mine were con and charisma.
Yeah. Alright, you spread your wings a little bit, almost knocking Chuck off of his horse, and you take off into the air, finally able to stretch your wings. And looking out, you do see something. You do see this shiny little glint over by the harbor, and as you peer into it, you can see a gnome dressed in a fine hat and a nice shirt, seemingly taking the same... Yes. Seemingly taking the same tickets that you now have. You get the impression this is the guy who should be getting them, if nothing else. Better is selling them. A ticket scalper in a D&D world.
I'm getting the shiny.
Do you just take off?
I shout back to Chuck, Chuck, there's a shiny over there, gotta get it now.
I guess Chuck follows along on horseback.
You ride in the shadow of Armax as he is going almost as fast as the horse was, and you kind of question why he got you to buy him the horse in the beginning. And in proper gentleman-like fashion, you come right up to the edge of the group there and land off their horse. Many a person sort of turning over and sort of basking in this well-oiled, groomed individual, as then an Aarakocra starts to slowly hover around a gnome like a buzzard. And this gnome is now taking notice and just like, hey, what are you doing up there? Unless you got a voucher, beat it. He's actually taking off his hat and starting to swat at you.
Can I reach up there, like jump up there and grab him by the foot and bring him back down?
Make an athletics check.
Stand by. I was walking away from my computer.
Don't roll a 1, and your ally is probably going to get grabbed.
Oh, please, let this be the one time you roll the 1 on the athletics check.
Alright.
Kitty, get out of the way. Damn it, Kitty. Daddy has to roll dice.
No, you have to catch him a fresh bird.
She is not. I have to catch her.
Actually, he is catching a fresh bird.
Exactly. You slowly walk through the crowd, it parting for you. You just raise your hand casually, grab him by the foot, and Armax, you immediately stop, and then fall forward. Almost body surfing if Chuck had let go of your foot in time. Instead, you just scrape your beak onto the gravel. The gnome is now currently looking at his savior. So, do you have a voucher? You seem like the type who would. Only the greatest of adventurers get them these days.
Yeah, I
have
hand
a voucher.
I hand him the voucher and I put a hand over the beak.
Alright, you hand it to him and he takes a look at it. Ah! You want the Saint Monty. You want the Saint Monty. It's at the end of the harbor. And he hands it back to you. And you can see both of your groups now almost next to each other. You look over and you see there's this large galleon-like ship housing maybe 4 or 5 dozen of these people. One next to it has like a couple dozen. It's more like but not a galleon, a keeling ship. Then there's the one at the end of the harbor, which looks like it got bullied in high school by the first 2 ships. It's sort of rink-dink and worn down. The sails have more patches in it than it does its original color. And you do see this one individual standing on top of it, just sort of patiently waiting, hands tapping on his head as his foot is on a box. Both of you leave both of your groups leave this large crowd and start heading your way towards what you were told is the Saint Monty. Whether it's the ship or the man, you are unaware.
Not the worst ship I've ever seen.
I head over to the ship. I mean, it's not gonna scare me.
Yeah,
I can,
as well.
I can fly. If a ship sinks, that's not really too detrimental to me.
Alright. So, go ahead.
Look down at my new friend Bran, and I'm like, "Do you think this thing's like actually seaworthy? Because I'm not too sure."
No. And then I walk towards the ship.
So Chuck and Bran, almost shoulder to shoulder now, are walking towards the end of the harbor, while right behind them is a small bird and a very large wizard. It would look cool if you didn't look so hodgepodge. Like, you're basically just waiting for the explosion to happen in the background, and then the movie poster would be cut.
I mean, Chuck Manley leaves explosions wherever he goes.
Well, yes, but 90% of the time that's RMX.
You know they have pills for that IBS.
Don't go to the bathroom after Chuck. He leaves explosions wherever he goes.
Accurate.
Your banter is immediately cut as what you can now see is almost captain-like, with a large hat, plume, and several sort of like naval medals attached to his chest. He immediately gets up straight in his post and looks. So I'm stuck on the gnome. So you begotten vouchers for me, have you? You're the groups that I've been looking for.
I hand him my voucher.
And just like the gnome, he immediately snatches out of your hand, although he was not as careful and was actually scratches a little bit on your hand. He looks at it and said, So's, you'll be the ones on me crew. It's only a month until we get to the new world, and once there, I'll be able to collect the money your little tickets are getting me.
From a Mountie.
I have mild dyslexia, leave me alone. Alright. Alright. So he looks at the ticket and looks at it. So, who's on this voucher then, huh? As he pulls out a book that he was actually standing on this whole time, and he has... It is a ledger that you would see in a hotel, though this one is dustied, emptied, and mostly forgotten, with only 2 or 3 pages, any sort of names on them. And even now, they're scratched out as if they've either been delivered or they've been put to rest. But the date is set, and there are several spaces for you to sign your names. And he hands you a pen. Anyone on me crew has got to sign in. That way I know how many got there and how many I don't need to bring back.
Okay, I quickly write my name down. Hand the pen. I hand the quill back to Yanit.
And not really paying attention. I'm actually inspecting the ship, and I expect the paper to be at a normal height, but I end up writing on his forehead my signature.
Brands or the captain?
The captain.
You do have haphazardly signed a bit of his hat that you've actually pulled down over his eyes, and you see him flustered a bit and take it off, staring at you angrily, but sort of calming himself down. And you hear a faint whisper saying, "It's just for the money. You're just doing it for the money." And he holds up the book for you to sign. It says, "Signed this, you 8-foot buffoon."
Oh, sorry. Are you sure this ship will be fine? We'll be okay, right?
She's made it to a city before, and she'll make that again. Better than the other damn ships. They wouldn't survive what this one's been through. You don't take a virgin vessel to a city.
All right. And signs the book.
All
Hands
right.
the quill to whoever's closer, the bird or Chuck.
Max.
All right.
No, you're gonna be the bird.
The bird.
The bird.
Well, it is the word. All right.
Alright, I guess I'll write next. I just write a name down. Just any name.
Oh, he doesn't care what name. He just wants you to sign.
Exactly. And I also ask him if there's good nesting material.
He cocks his head to the side, takes the quill out of your hands and hands it to Chuck, and recomposes himself with a half-hearted smile. Though surprisingly, good teeth. Go figure.
They're bones.
Chuck?
Yeah, Chuck will sign, but he's real friggin' hesitant.
It's just to ensure you're the ones that I'm supposed to be taking. You needn't worry.
He's more looking at the boat with the hesitation.
He takes offense to this and actually sort of takes a step back, and you see him hobble on his right leg a little. This ship has been to a Assyria far more than any of the other vessels have even crossed the Isles. No ship will take you there faster, no ship will take you there safer. Only I know the routes. It's, actually, you do look at it, and half-heartedly painted on it has the Saint Monty on it. And by half-heartedly, I mean it looks like somebody was literally swinging off the side of a rope with a paintbrush, trying to put it on in like 2 minutes. So do you sign?
Oh yeah, no, I signed. I'm just not happy about it.
All right. The second he sees you finish with that, he immediately snaps the book shut, taking the quill with him, spins on his right heel and says, "All right, on the ship, it's time to leave." And he just starts hobbling up the plank. Not caring what you guys are doing, he's just taking off.
I guess we were the last ones.
Apparently.
It is a very
While
small
they
ship.
stand in awe, I am going to go up the plank and get on the ship.
All right.
I go to the crow's nest.
Sure. All right.
I bump my head. I bump my head on the crow's nest. It's a small ship.
Actually, you do get an idea of how large this ship is. As coming across the plank, you can now see the deck is made out of multicolors. Not reds or blues or greens, but different shades of similar woods. Not the same woods. All treated the same, but definitely from different trees and different time periods. This ship now looking more like some sort of haphazard vase that a child put together. It functions, but it doesn't set your minds at ease to know that this ship has survived at least 2 wars, and maybe an encounter with a Kraken. Though seeing this, the captain is unperturbed and actually begins shouting orders at his men. His men quickly pulling supplies up and getting the ship ready to sail. And the second you guys are off the plank, one guy just pulls it right on top, seals the gate, seals the gunwale shut. And the captain begins to take his position behind the wheel. He looks down to the foreman, saying, "You'll be staying in the room on the lowest deck. It's the room with the red square on it. I say that because you're not going into the blue circle or the yellow triangle. Those are for guests. You'll get the red square. We'll be there in a month, and I guarantee you meals and water along the way, and any rations you might require. Though you'll be eating the same as me crew. You got that?"
Poorly.
Got it. Eating different, yellow circle.
Without saying anything, I want to look around the ship. Are us 4 the only adventurers on the ship?
You're the only 4 I can take. Any more and the ship would sink under the weight of the supplies it would need to travel.
Don't tell me that.
Ah, you wuss.
What is the maximum occupancy of this ship?
Currently, this. No matter. I've sailed with worse, and I've sailed through worse. You be dealing with the great Captain Christo. Ain't nothing killed me yet, ain't nothing killed me now.
We're gonna die.
I'm still confused why we can't use the rest of the rooms if nobody else is allowed on the boat.
Captain's orders.
What guests are we gonna have?
Oh, we are so going in those rooms.
As you deliberate to this, the captain immediately just takes the wheel and spins it. You can actually feel the ship lurch away from the port, turning around. Each of you sort of being a little unsettled by this. You knit more than others as he's a little more top-heavy.
Hey, I am very light on my feet, thank you.
Yes, but you're still top-heavy. And the wind immediately catches the sails and begins to take you off. Whatever little reprieve there may have been in low tide, it is now far behind you as the time goes on. Now then, you have about a month until you get to where you're going, and none of you have asked where. Now, then, is there anything in this month you want to do?
Yellow door.
I am going to continue to read my book and attempt to follow its instructions. So, approaching Yanit, I'm looking at the book, and then I'll look up at him, and I'll say, "Good morning. How are you?"
Oh, it's that book!
You're reading that book you told me about earlier, aren't you?
Yep.
What book is this?
How to not make dead friends. Or something like that.
How to not have dead friends?
How to make not make dead friends. Brand,
They needed to specify against necromancy.
Brand, if you want, you can just post it in chat so they can see it.
That is an amazing title.
And the rest of you have seen books like this. It's what some would call a self-help series. Though you do.
God, he's got the social skills of Thomas Edison.
What, he electrocutes puppies?
Actually found out Edison never did that.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, actually turns out it was the Edison Power Company, which was a company that used his patents.
Patents that he stole from other people.
Yeah.
Guilty by
Okay,
proxy.
no, he's still a jackass.
But Edison was a social retard.
Socially challenged. All right, so
idea.
Will, you're going to be trying to make friends. I presume you're going to try this out on people that you don't know, like Chuck and the crew.
Yeah, trying to keep practicing it on Unit. He proved himself useful and effective, so if I can manage to keep him around in my travels in the new world until I'm more prepared and on my feet to go back on my own, I would prefer that.
All right.
Something that Brandon noticed as he came up to me and asked me that question. I was actually meditating on a crate, and I open my eyes slowly and say, "That's an interesting way to greet somebody." And I look at the book and I'm like, "Oh, that one, yes, okay."
Meditating on a crate that is creaking beneath you.
That's just the boat.
It could very well be. It could be the dock creaking beneath you. It is hard to tell. All right. Okay, so Brand's going to be trying to make friends. Anyone else want to try and do anything?
Come with me, see the mystery door.
Yeah. No, I'm going through Mystery Door.
All right. When would you do this?
After having thoroughly staked out the
It's like, do you wait a week and wait till the cover of night to go down there, or is it just like a kid told not to push the button? The second you see it, you immediately go to it.
I'm thinking more of the latter with only a hint of the former.
So 2 days.
Like
2 days
more
broad daylight.
Like an hour is broad daylight, but no one's in the hallway.
So, just a little bit after you get your things packed away into your room, and the four of you are sharing one room, and to say it's a room is also being very generous, as it is currently just 4 square walls and 2 posts just sticking up out of it with hammocks hanging off it onto the adjacent walls. It is currently, I'd say, 11 feet by 7 feet. And it was probably used for more smuggling than anything else. But it was retrofitted to become a room, in times of need. And so after you put your things away, you immediately go to the door?
I imagine that it's a situation where we get everything hooked up and just like, hey, let's go check out that door. So yes.
Alright, who do you ask? Because I presume you're not going to ask Crew. Although that would be hilarious.
Yes, the crew.
I mean,
who was that spoke up who wanted to see the door?
I believe he's your traveling companion, Chuck, at least.
I asked Chuck if he wants to see the door.
Chuck wants to see the door.
Go check out that door.
Alright.
Chuck is not the wisest individual on the planet, so this is entirely up his alley.
Don't worry, RMX has enough wisdom for both of us.
I don't think that's true, but
No, just trust me. I am very wise. The wisest.
His grandfather was an owl.
his grandfather was an owl.
Yes.
For the record, his grandmother was a Turkish game hen. Alright, so let's give you the benefit of the doubt and say it took you like a day and a half. And so, yes, you... What hour do you want to do this? And how do you want to do this? Because it is literally, you turn left, walk 5 feet, and there's the door. There's just 3 doors in this small hallway. It's the yellow triangle, the blue circle, and the red square.
When is there nobody around?
There's no one around.
Dude, that is the best time.
Alright, you come across a door with a yellow triangle. Although, unlike your door, it does have this big metal padlock on it, and there's actual metal bars running across the front of it. Not rebar, but like flat iron bars that are riveting into it. This is a door that was meant not to be opened, and trying the lock, it doesn't open.
Yeah, let me try and pick the lock.
Are you going to actually pick it, or are you going to Chuck Manley pick it?
I can do both, but right now I'm gonna try to actually pick it.
All right.
Thief tools and what is it? Sleight of hand that I get to do.
Are you proficient in thieves' tools?
Yeah.
Alright, sleight of hand. Alright. You were told not to enter this room, but for a room that is clearly this lackadaisically prepared, its lock means nothing to you. Where your knuckle could have done it, your subtlety also does it. And you hear a slight and very familiar tick as the bolt in the lock slides to the left. The door unlocked.
Let's ease that door open.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Alright. You slowly push the door forward, and it stops. Then you realize you have to pull it back, and in doing so, a torrent of small boxes falls out of it atop the both of you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh god damn it.
Alright, that's one.
Armax teleported backwards.
Armax, being a natural in the wind, you just spread your wings and fly backwards, but the gust of wind pushes Chuck forward as a crate beans him in the skull. It doesn't move you, as the crate is only about 2 feet cubed, but it does kind of hurt a little.
Good to know. Is there anything else in the room?
You just see a sea of small crates.
I open one of the crates.
Yeah, no, that's the most correct answer.
You open the crate that beamed you, because that's the one you have the greatest vendetta against.
Right, no, and I vengefully open it.
Alright. Which it doesn't take much. It was basically held together with spirit gum and hope.
Your skull loosened the crate.
Right?
Basically. As you rip it open, you then see there are these 4 sort of black-looking canisters in it. It's just sort of all packed together, kind of neat and tidy, with a little bit of hay and cotton sort of protecting it.
I take one of the canisters and put it in my backpack, and then I put the box back together, and I put everything back in there, and I close it all up.
Hold on a second, grab me one of them too.
I grab him one of those two.
Okay.
We're stealing his fucking beer.
Alright, you adeptly take the 2 of these and put the crate back together, which I'm gonna have to ask you to roll something.
Strength check. Right, got it. Let's go.
Okay, actually, you know what? Do you put it together quickly, or do you put it together so it looks like it wasn't opened?
Would that be
The
deception?
second one.
Then you need to make a... this would be Dex, because you're trying to finesse the nails back into the right
Sleight of
holes.
hand.
I'll give you sleight of hand.
Inside check the box.
You put the lid back on. You put the lid back onto the box, and you put it back into. You put it and all of its friends back in top with the little box that beamed you right where it was, and that's when you notice that on the opposite end of the box there's a logo, and it's the captain's face on it, though it's actually more well done, as if it was actually taken to a silk screening operation. And it is the captain's face, going Captain Christo's Spices of the New World. But what you notice is his hat, which should be on the brim of the lid, is not there. And taking a look, you now notice the hat is to the wrong side.
God damn it.
And there's a whole bunch of boxes on top of it now.
No one's gonna notice. Alright, so yeah, I just...
You know what? If he notices, we'll just kick his ass.
I can punch.
Take nabbit, damn it. Alright,
So, what kind of spice is this now?
Alright, okay, look, one thing at a time. The door is still open. You just close it, or do you try and lock it again, or...
Oh no, I don't try to lock it, I just lock it.
Alright, you shut the door again as it was. To the best of your ability. And... Alright, so what do you want to do?
I just lock the door back again.
Okay.
It's not like I break a lock when I pick it open.
No. That's what I mean. I just want to know how many steps the captain's going to go through to realize you fucked him.
We didn't fuck anyone, thank you very much. I would have noticed.
We didn't take any. That's that spice that fell off the back of the truck. Shipping error, assembling line problems.
Probably you think you get away with stealing a whole crate than trying to steal 2 cans.
Like, what's he gonna do? You monsters! 2 whole jars of spice. I will have you.
I mean, they're not jars. They
find them!
You will have your way with you.
they are still iron canisters, and now that you take a look, there is a sort of waxy covering on it that does, again, have the captain's face on it, saying Captain Christo's Spices of the New World.
Oh my god, I'm just picturing General Zod in all his intensity. I will find them!
That's what I was going for.
We're gonna be like, near the end of the campaign, we're gonna see Captain Christo again. He's gonna have a gun. Give me the spice back.
Alright, do you just crack the thing open right there and then? Or are you gonna go back to your cabin? You gonna try and open the other door?
There was a second door?
There was,
Yes.
yeah.
There was a yellow triangle, a blue circle, and a red square.
You know, you want to just go down the line of doors?
Yeah, well, I mean, we already know what's in the blue one. We just need to, or the red one. We need to go to the. We were just in the blue one, right?
Which one did we go to?
You sleep in the red one. You robbed the yellow one. The blue one is left unmolested.
Let's go check out that blue door. Maybe we'll find a shipment of bananas we can also steal from.
Alright. You... Gotta turn the page. Alright. Standing literally across the hallway is a door with a blue circle on it. Unlike the yellow triangle, it does not have the iron bars running across it, but it is still locked.
Chuck, do your magic.
I'll work my magic on this one too.
Alright, roll.
Do I have advantage for just doing this on the last lock and knowing lockpick? Because he probably used the same brand of locks, right? They're probably the exact same. Because he seems like the kind of guy who would cheap out on that shit with me.
Normally I would agree, but unfortunately the other one was designed to be unopenable, where this one's just designed not to let assholes enter in unannounced.
Oh.
And in doing so, you do put your locks into it using the same technique used in the first one, and you find it not to budge. It's a more standard lock, but you're just not used to it. I mean, you haven't broken into very many ships.
Okay,
Grand Theft Galleon is not a thing in this universe.
Okay. So how long does it take me to figure out that I fucked up, and when can I try again?
Oh, it doesn't take you long, because the second you hit the last pin and try to open it, it's stuck.
Okay, so...
I think you blacked out there. Your mic went on, but I didn't hear anything.
Hello?
Yeah, there you are.
Okay, yeah, do it. Can I try to pick the lock again?
Alright, try again.
Alright. Come on, money.
Alright.
That's better.
Okay. Alright, so... Medkit? Don't distract me. The DM has AD&D. Don't do this. Alright. You put your pin in... You put your pin and tumbler set into it to try and open it, but then you notice something. The lock in question is a fake. There are pins in it, but pushing them doesn't do anything. It is at that point you realize that there is a small hole in the bottom left-hand side of the metal panel that is attached to the bolt. You stick your cam into it and just turn it clockwise, and like a master key, just the bolt slides out. You get the impression this was meant to stop your average thief.
Oh god, he's buying master locks.
Okay, so I got through the thing though, right?
Yes.
Alright, so I calmly take the thing off and switch over to the next.
Well, no. The bolt's off. It's just the door is unlocked now, as far as you can tell.
Yeah, I just opened the door.
Yeah.
Alright. This door does actually open forward instead, so no fear of getting beamed. You open it and you find that it is an empty room.
Okay.
Just coated with dust and debris with a small crate in the back that seems to be empty.
Let's go check out that crate.
Alright. Roll an investigation check.
I'm not great, you do this.
Well, I should. You got the lock.
You look into the crate and you find 248 pieces of dust bunnies.
Oh, I was wanting hay.
This room is evidently bare, without a
Why
scrap
does
of
not
anything.
go in here?
I mean, do you just let people into your house and say, enter every room? I don't care what it is.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I have met you. Yeah. Currently, this room seems to be emptied. Even looking across the walls, all you do see is like small little pin-sized holes, which every once in a while a little bit of water comes through.
Well, I'm thoroughly bored with this room. Let us go.
All right.
Yeah, move on.
I presume you also shut this door again.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Unit, Will, did you have anything you want to do?
I suppose I will go up to the captain when he's not absolutely surrounded by sailors or really near that many people. I'm gonna ask him, Captain, where's the place we will be landing?
It's about a week out into your journey because you didn't want to disturb him in mid-flight or mid-travel, and he is currently lounging on top of a desecrated box with a little ramp in it that he's affixed a seat that you think he stole from a much nicer chair that he's turning into what's essentially ugly ghetto patio furniture. Lounging with a bottle of rum in one hand and which you can only presume is some sort of nudie card playing deck in the other. And as you say this, he immediately jumps up with knocking his hat back. You apparently have caught him while he was sleeping. Or drunk off his ass. What? What do you need? What did you do? What did you open?
I open my mouth for a moment, and then I look down at my book, and I open it a few pages in, and then I look back up. I am sorry to have disturbed you. Now, where is the place that we will be landing? What is it called? How many people are there? What can we expect?
He's blinking repeatedly. Like he just woke up, and he now doesn't know what around him is real. And after taking a deep breath, once again reminding himself that it's all for the money, he goes, "We be landing at the first port on Asiri. The port of Cullis, or as any of the sort call it, Port Cullis. Don't ask me, people name funny things over there. But what you be needing to know is that it is the third largest port, and the greatest settlement you'll ever see on Asiri. Unless you're fanned with elves or dwarves, in which case they probably have better ones, but to be quite honest, I don't sail near their cities, so fuck them. Now, is that all you be needing?"
Being a wood elf myself, I think that would be a problem.
It would be. There is no way in there unless you're feckin' welcomed. The entire isles around it are completely blocked off, and any roads leading up there lead through Portcullis. And even then, it is several weeks' journey.
When we arrive, is there a place I'm supposed to take my voucher? Is there a specific person we are supposed to go to for hire?
Look here, you daft pointy-eared. I don't care. Me job is to just get you there in one piece. Past that, you can burn off, bugger off, and fuck off for all I care. I'd say it's probably in the note. It was probably in the note you had. The voucher just gets you across and fit. Now, are we done?
Yeah, we lock it up.
You're actually locking up at this point. Alright.
I apologize. I had assumed that being a captain of a ship, it was required for you to receive at least a menial form of education. Being wrong in that, your purviews of perception also being skewed, I'm surprised that the ship still runs as it does. Therefore, I can only assume that you are of the warrior class, which could make you a pirate or smuggler of some sort. That being said, can I assume that the port that we are going to is specifically racist and derogatory because of your kind that rests there?
You hear a small slam as his heel hits the deck as he pulls himself up. Though at first you would think it is his jaw coming off the floor. He looks to you, raising his left hand up, almost like he's about to shout something. He takes a breath, takes another breath, finishes his 2/5 of Jack, and just walks away.
I look back down at my book and kind of look back to Yanit. Did I say something wrong?
Oh, you know there's a chapter in that book that says, "Did they take Jack after talking to you?"
Yeah, you may want to read the entire book before you try talking to somebody.
It's a very big book.
I'm sure you can read pretty fast.
It's full of complex concepts that I don't understand.
There's math in there, isn't there?
It says to consider the feelings of others. What? I don't understand that.
Ah, you got a bad book. Ignore that part.
Excellent. Just tear that page out.
Toss it off the side.
Just eats it.
You tear it out and just throw it over your shoulder. There's like a small cabin boy just gasp in the corner, just runs over and just starts picking up the pages before they litter the ship.
We can use this for the sail.
I say that he does take it to the captain's quarters and stores it.
Oh god. We're gonna have to break into the captain's quarters, aren't we?
I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have fucking said that. Alright. Is there anything else you guys want to be doing on your trip?
Yeah, what kind of symbol does the captain's door have?
One that has a large rune on it.
Punch the rune. No more rune.
He's got
Okay.
This is the room with the beholder in front of it.
Alright. Short of anything you guys actually want to try and do, time passes on as it should.
I will try to introduce myself to Chuck and Arumax.
Alright. That actually does sound important.
That's, you know, teammates should know each other.
Yeah, maybe.
You are literally sharing a room for a month.
Looking down at my book, of course. Read a few lines, look back up. Hello, I am Bran.
Hello. I am Armax. This is Chuck.
Well, that was a great conversation.
Yeah, like, damn.
Long, awkward pauses.
Chuck snubbing you even worse than the captain did.
Chuck's mad because he never finished reading. He can read, he just never finished.
I would like to roll a insight on Chuck and Arumax just to get an idea of possibly what they can do. Like, I know Yanit is a magician of some sort. I know he specializes in martial magic. I want to see if just by looking at them and their mannerisms, I can glean anything as to what they're capable of.
Okay, roll an insight. Alright. The 24 and a feckin' 19, you... Short of their life story, you do get an idea on who these individuals are. You get the impression that Chuck Manley, being who he is a very stern and well-kept individual. Though brutish in first appearances, similar to Yanit, he seems to have more of a class to him. The way he walks and the way he actually grooms himself is that something more of nobility than actual savagery. Where Armax, you see an odd Aarakocra. You don't see many of them. Most of the demi races don't exactly stick out. But he is a fine feathered individual, and the way he talks is genuinely honest. Though you do get the idea that you can trust him, but you don't know if you should trust him. Not unsavory, but just... I would say it's akin to trusting a child with delivering a message of world importance.
Oh,
They
okay.
understand it, but you don't know if they truly understand what it means.
He's a little bird-brained.
A
I
touch.
am rakish. Is a good
Right.
descriptor.
Alright. And Armax rolled his, and you get the idea of these two that they are, well, an odd couple. Ynit being a Goliath. He's not fast, but that's not to say he's slow. He's calculated. He's calm and well-mannered. And he's curious by nature. You can actually see him just studying things and taking little notes here and there. Where Bran, on the other hand, is kind of, well, he's odd, to say the least. He's sort of somewhere between the emo kid who begrudgingly sells pot after school just to pay for his Warhammer 40k collection, and a guy who realizes he's going to grow up to be the Unabomber, but he's kind of okay with it right now because he thinks he can deal with it.
Dude, he's playing 40k. He's not making enough with pot. He's got to sell heroin and crack.
Like I said, begrudgingly.
All right. Well, as long as he doesn't hate birds.
Neither of you get a sense of true hostility.
Okay.
All right, Zach, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, finally.
I've
Because
been here the whole time, just listening.
oh, so you really just did snub Bran? Damn. That's even worse. All right,
I
now,
don't like you.
now where would
I
you
don't
be?
care.
Now, Bran, where would you be doing this?
I guess it's perfectly possible that I'm doing this right in front of the rooms that they broke into.
So you just met them in the hallway and just like said, "Hey, hold here a second," and you started looking up and down them.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Ynit, would you be with your compatriot at this point, or are you still like somewhere just deep in thought?
After a while of meditating on the deck, I've actually made my way down to our room.
Okay, so basically all four of you are down there. Would that be safe to assume?
I assume if we're not on the deck, we're going to be in that little room.
All right. Okay. Now, as you're going through this explanation, Armax and Bran circling each other, kind of like dogs trying to smell each other's ass. Ironically, they're both doing it around Chuck.
The fire hydrant.
I was going to say more like a street lamp, but all right.
Chuck's just standing in the center. I'm okay with this.
As you're doing this, your concentration is immediately thrown ajar as the ship as the ship actually pushes 15 degrees to the left, actually toppling a couple of you guys over. You can hear a large crash and grinding sound on the right-hand side as it sounds like you've hit something. And that's when you hear a bell being rung with like mad, and the captain going, let's see, yeah, I'm stuck in the fucking gnome. You hear the captain going, "Pirates! Get your asses on deck!"
I knew this ship was going to sink.
Yeah, let's get on deck.
Chuck Manley strides manfully up to the deck of the ship.
Armax walks normally up to the deck.
I'm gonna run up to the deck.
I'm going to take long strides, but stomping onto the deck.
And as you do so, this is what you see.
Oh, please tell me that's our new boat.
Well,
Damn.
unfortunately, it's in a far worse condition than the one you're at. As you now see that there is a small schooner-like vessel that is rammed up to the side of your ship and has actually thrown several ladders over it.
Okay.
Th-
as fast as I can, I am going to run to those ladders and start throwing them off of the side.
Hold on.
Hold on.
And then- Unfortunately, you guys are down here, and this is what I'm going to ask you to roll initiative. Get your asses in gear, boys.
Come on, let me zoom out. Damn it. There. Christ.
Alright, what was it to roll the initiative on here again?
Click your token, and then click the initiative button in your player screen.
Did that do?
Let's see. Oh, really? You mother... Hold on, sorry. Okay, I gotta do this manually. Hold on. But yes, you are on.
Oh, sweet.
I'm sorry, I'm super new at this.
Dude, take your time. Don't worry. There's not a timer. Well, technically, life is just one big timer. Think that boat's flammable?
Probably.
I would say it's about as flammable as your ship.
Oh, so it's super flammable.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine that, like, the captain's like, nobody smoke, nobody smoke.
Yeah. Accurate.
Literally made of matchsticks.
I just rolled a 1D life and it told me you only live once.
Oh.
Somewhere, someone has made a D1.
They have.
It's actually shaped like a Mobius strip.
That's actually rather clever.
Did all of my fucking guys roll 10?
Yeah.
These pirates are raring to go.
Alright, Oh, wait, hold on.
Quickly, men, go attack the SS Slag Heap.
Alright. Armax, the initiative is yours. What do you do?
So they've got a couple of these, ladders on there, right?
Yes, they've been thrown over and are essentially hooking their ship to yours.
Could I try and, light one of their ladders on fire? Keep them
Oh.
from coming over on that one?
Alright, how do you do that?
With, firebolt?
Alright, currently you do have sight of it. Which one do you want to attack?
Let's see, what is...
It's about 60, I believe, for Firebolt.
Trying to get, trying to measure things.
Wait, hang on. All my guys rolled 10, but they're all before everyone except Aramax.
Firebolt's
I rolled
120 by the way.
Oh, yep. Sorry, I'm thinking of the old fire. Thinking of Aramax's old Firebolt.
Oh god, Armax's old firebolt was fucking amazing. Of course,
Alright.
the DM had to freaking, do so much shit for that.
Alright, so which one are you attacking?
We'll go with the furthest one and bottlenecking towards us.
Alright. For 10. You know what? I will say for this, you don't burn it, as most people are pretty aware that they should make stuff that's probably a little coated, and ships are covered in tar, which is designed to prevent this. However, you do knock it off the gunwale as it was fairly loose, and it gets
Okay.
knocked into the water. Alright, what do you want to do? You still got your move and your bonus action. Any day now. Bran, be ready because you're on deck. Zach.
Yeah.
Yes, can you hear me?
Damn it. Yeah, now I hear you. Armax, what are you doing?
I was gonna say, can I just move over here?
Yeah, you essentially spread your wings and take flight a little. And as you move forward, you actually tried to move forward a little bit further. But the second you took off, the ship actually started moving as fast as you were. And then a little faster. It's only now that you take into a note that this ship is actually kind of fucking fast. And flying too much will probably put you off your aim a little. Yeah, I calculated this shit. You're not as fast as the boat.
I love it. That'll work for me.
Alright. Next up is the scary guy.
No, my initiative is actually 9. I'm not next.
1, 2, 3. Alright.
I couldn't resist.
Alright.
Oh, I saw what you did there.
Again, up. Alright. He is actually able to get across, and you can see him. He is a thuggish looking, thick bearded, booze soaked son of a bitch. What you thought the captain might have been Bran, this guy actually is. And you can see a bloodlust in his eyes, and he says, "Take him, lads! This'll feed us for the month!" And I think that's all he can do. Yep, that's all he can do. So that's El Capitan. Next up are these weird individuals. You can see these sort of froggish, fishish-like hybrids wielding these large tridents just start running across the ship. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see them sort of slithering and sniffing around, actually dripping with some sort of slime almost. And they lock eyes with the tasty-looking bird in front of them. And just smile.
Now, let's not be hasty. Large birds taste gamey.
Alright, that is their turn. Next up, you can see the crew members starting to get in on this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can actually see one of them actually trying to climb up to get at the captain. The captain being the guy in the back who hasn't done anything yet. He is currently busy steering the ship and shouting epithets at you guys to do something. And... oh, they actually have an attack. Never mind. Armax. 2 of these guys are looking straight at you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does a 12 or a 4 hit?
Say what?
The guy on the top next to the big lizard thing attacks you for 12. Does that hit?
What do you need me to roll?
What's your AC?
My AC is 11,000.
I will open your sheet if I have to.
AC of 12.
Alright. Guy next to the lizard actually does a tumble right off the little ladder, pulls out a small crossbow, and drives a bolt right onto the edge of your foot, almost nailing you to the deck of the ship. His friend over there, not to be outdone, does the same, but it clears so far over your head you'd think he was mailing it to the next country. Let's see, who's that? Oh, Yanit! This guy's gonna shoot at you.
Don't worry, Unit. They're incredibly drunk or stupid.
Wish.
Exhausted from climbing up the small railing, he half-heartedly pulls it up and shoots the box in front of him. He would be embarrassed, but he currently is now feeling the pain coming his way. Alright. Bran.
Okay, I am going to forward towards the captain.
Your captain or their captain?
Their
Thank you.
captain.
It's actually Chuck's turn.
Wait, it's Chuck. Sorry. My bad.
It's all right. Chuck Manley is going to.
This is actually kind of better.
Moxie point dash as a bonus action,
Oh boy.
and then he's going to get right up in this, and he's gonna punch this guy, like right in the face.
The guy who shot Armax. Yeah, you... Needing a little bit of reprieve after the embarrassing social awkward sight you just saw, you just drive your right knuckle into the corner of this guy's mouth and you feel his head sort of snap a little. And you hurt him.
Did I get him? Do I hurt him a lot?
You hurt him a lot, but you know, he's a pirate. They live for this shit. I just don't think for much longer. All right, anything else you want to do?
No, that's all I got.
All right. Yanit.
All
There's a
right.
guy in front of you and two to the side.
I use a bonus action to draw my sigil and start my blade song.
All right.
And I run up to, let's see. Run up to this guy who's about to try to kill our captain. And, yeah, just take a nice little whack to the back of the head. Does 18 hit?
Oh, yeah, no, 18 cold cocks him over the skull. You just draw your quarterstaff and swing it sideways, knocking him into the back of the head, actually driving him into that little steering well. While that's happening, your blade song triggers as the same arcane portal drops, and this huge blade is driven straight down, digging another hole into the hull of the ship, and the captain starts yelling at you, "Whose side are you feckin' on?" But your blade song is now active and is guarding your back.
Ha!
Who's next?
Actually, so that guy's dead, or is he still alive?
Oh, no, he's alive.
Okay, I'll stay there then.
You- Once again, you hurt him, but he lives for this shit. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Alright, Bran. My apologies, you're next. Armax, get ready because you're next.
I am going to run forward here in front of their captain and drawing a single short sword, because that's as far as I can go. I am going to cast Eldritch Blast on him. And because it's force damage, I would like to attempt to knock him off the ship.
Is that a thing you have a skill for, or is that just something you're doing for flavor?
Flavor.
Alright. Well then. Ugh. Alright. Well, your hunter instincts immediately kick in as you flip over a barrel onto the lower gunwale. You stand right in front of this guy, and you can see him actually slobbering with how much he is enjoying the pain that's coming out. And right before he gets a chance to drive a blade into you, just this small red, droplet of energy comes off of your chest, immediately hardens into what looks like a fist, and is driven into his chest cavity, knocking the actual wind out of him, and actually knocking one of his boozes out of his coat. He's hurt, but his heels are firm, and you can just see the smile get deeper on him. Anything else you want to do?
For my bonus action, I am going to activate my Blood Right.
Alright, remind me what that does?
It adds 1d4 cold damage to melee weapon attacks. Well, all my weapon attacks.
Alright. Alright, you run your finger along your blade as the air around it just slowly culminates into this little frost. you can almost see like this little white dragon sort of looping around it, kind of in the reflection. It would be intimidating to the average man, but you are surrounded by hard-minded individuals and psychopathic pirates. It's not as effective as you would hope, but it's gonna work. Armax, a guy just shot you. By the way, you did remember to take that damage, right?
How much damage did you want me to take?
Oh, damn it. It was
All of
3.
it.
And I'm just dead.
Knowing what your hit points are, I know that's actually kind of right.
I am a glass. Well, basically just glass.
Alright. So, what do you want to do? The lizard guys are still staring at you. You're reminded of what geckos do to small birds. That said, there's also the guy who shot you. Alright, do you want to split those up, or...
Not me.
Alright, all of them?
Let's see, that was 5.
No, 3 darts. So you can split them up in any way you want, or you can just have them all focus fire.
You know what? Let's just focus fire at him. I'm angry at him.
Alright. You just start waving your hand in a small circle as these tiny little meteorites just start jutting out and are driven into this guy, kind of like the Needler from Halo 2. And as each one hits, he sort of looks down at them, gulps, and then is immediately bifurcated. This man is now a pile of corpse. Let's see.
Yay, more people jelly.
And he's more together than you would hope, but he is dead.
You know, you can't argue with results.
Alright, bonus action, and move. You are currently on the deck of the ship.
Is there an arrow still holding my foot down?
No, it almost was. A skilled marksman probably would have done it, but this is just some drunken half-wit with a slingshot, basically.
Let's see, no, let's see, I can't cast mage armor as a bonus action, so... That's all I can really do at the moment.
Alright, you're not gonna move or anything?
I might back up a little.
Alright. I mean, you basically have enough movement you could back to the other end of the ship if you wanted.
You guys are doing great! I'm just gonna take a breather back here.
Then the Kraken reaches over and grabs you and pulls you in.
Oh, thank you. I need to get the frog human from the other map.
Oh, thank God.
Alright. Gibbering Captain comes in. He sort of grips the hole you almost dug into his heart, and he just looks at you, smiling. He throws his hand over to the right, saying, "Kill the meaty one! The hunter's mine." And he's going to step forward, and he's going to try and cut you a new one. He's going to try and cut you several new ones. He draws a scimitar in his right hand and a dagger in his left, and he now begins to try and fillet you. Oh, crit 15 and a 21, Bran.
All of those hit.
Alright, you take 8 plus 5, 5, and 6. Are you still standing?
Hold on. I'm mathing. 11, 19, 24.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm still standing pretty tall.
Alright. This unassuming guy just spins on his heels and actually starts twirling like a top. His cut's actually cutting into each individual part of the armor. You can actually feel a cut on your face now from where his dagger drew across it. And as he stops, he just starts glaring at you again. Just looking at you saying, "Come at me, hunter. You got nothing on the high seas." And that's his turn. Yep. Froggy. Let's see. Can Froggy eat the birdie? Oh, Froggy can't eat the birdie. So instead, he's going to listen to the rules of his captain. He's going to start chewing on the meaty guy. By the way, there are no flanking rules right now. So just in case you thought you were screwed. Let's see.
Okay, so just let me know how much damage I take.
Mm-hmm. You're currently at full health, right, Chuck?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I have the little health bar on the token if you want to use that.
Oh, I can't. I'm just so zoomed far out I can't see it. But no, this is just for this. The lizard to your left is going to try and nibble at your ankles. He's going to try and hold you down for his friend. Does it-
AC 15.
Crit.
Well, yeah, that happens. So 6 damage.
All right. As he gets a taste for the blood, you can see his eyes light up as he was wanting this to happen.
That whiffs.
Actually, he has advantage. Nope, he still whiffs. Yep. Yeah. His blood frenzy does not draw you near. So he just has one really bad bite onto your ankles, and you can actually feel the teeth. You can actually feel a tooth still in there, unfazed by the great Chuck. But you're starting to understand why a sea captain would have these guys on their side. However, the guy behind you is going to do the same thing. And he also has advantage. Wish these would actually... Oh, yep, yeah. Crit. For another 8.
Okay.
And he's going to make this personal. And he's going to go after you with his claws. And a 7. Nope, I think you're fine from him. So once again, this guy just comes in and just drops his teeth into the base of your spine almost. If
Okay.
you were not as built as a man you were, he probably could have snapped you in half.
It's a good thing Chuck Manley is a mountain of a man.
I'd say more of an Everest of a man, but it still works.
Mightily Mega Man.
Alright, bandits. Alright, Unit, the guy in front of you is hopefully gonna try and kick your ass. Hey, yeah! 15?
Yes.
Alright, you can see him draw his blade and actually plunge it into you, but it's at that point you can hear a ting as your blade song is now standing in front of you, almost as wide as you are. He looks up and sees no one holding the hilt, and he kind of shrinks back a little. He'd almost try to apologize, but he kind of knows it's not going to do anything. Chuck?
Alright, which one did I smack?
No, not yet. I'm trying to say, Chuck, there's 2 guys on you, and they know better than to run away, I'm afraid.
Oh, they're still going.
Well,
Yeah,
only
I'll-
one bandit, one of them's dead.
Yeah. Don't worry, these guys are apparently drunk and inept. 10 and a 6. Either of those hit?
Oh, God, no. You have to hit 15.
Fucking hell. I thought it was going to be hard to kill you guys. Or easy.
It is hard to kill.
Alright, so these 2 lizards are biting at you, and you actually see these other 2 draw their blades to try to swing at you, and you don't duck out of the way, you just sort of turn your shoulder a little so that their blades actually hit in you. But they don't hit anything vital, and you just kind of shake it off. It's kind of unnerving for anyone else to see just this man not give a rat's ass about getting stabbed. And now it's your turn.
Alright, which one is wounded in front of me?
Oh, shit, I forgot. One of them's dead. It doesn't matter, but
I punch one of them.
Yep.
yeah, the one you punched is dead.
Oh, okay. Then I punch the other guy. This jackass.
All right, punch at him.
Let's see, where's my thing at? There we go. I'll hit.
That. Yeah, that hits. He
Cool.
takes how much? 8? After feeling the blade in your in like the top of your shoulder, you just sort of turn back at him, and you just grindhouse pimp hand him back, just driving the back of your knuckles into his jaw. It would have knocked him flat, basically. But he sort of bumped off against the box and is sort of still there, but regretting his decisions in life.
Okay, so he's still alive.
He is still alive.
I burn another moxie point and I punch him with the old one too.
All right, killed man.
There's the thingy.
Yeah.
Oh, I get to hit. I get to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
All right. Well, you have 3 targets. One of them is spewing blood.
Okay, I'm gonna hit the first guy right in front of me who's spewing blood.
And dead.
The guy closest to the bird.
You punched. You punched the lizard guy. All right. All right. He's a little tougher, but you still hit him. You just sort of like raise your elbow up and just drive it into a Macho Man Randy Savage style.
Yeah.
But unlike a regular person, this thing is thick. It wounds him, but he's not backing down. The primal mind ain't really doing much for you here. Alright. Get it?
Alright, so I look at the...
Unless, Chuck, did you want to move? Okay, never mind. Get it?
Alright. So I look at this bandit in front of me, and I wink at him, and then I disappear to Misty Step bonus action up to the frog guy. And as I reappear, I come down upon the same one he hit with my quarterstaff,
Alright.
casting Green Flame Blade.
Green, fuck.
So that's 9 to him and 5 to the other guy.
Alright, hold on. Okay, yeah, just want to make sure. Minus 9. In the same instance that Chuck drives his elbow into the top of this guy, not a second later, you just see this large wizard pop out of thin air and overhand slam this thing with the top of its quarterstaff, now radiating with a green flame. It's looking pretty beat the hell up. But it's still standing. And it's still hungry looking. Anything else you want to do?
Just as free action, just give him the come and get it, motherfucker look.
Alright. Is that Bran? Bran, you're up.
Okay. Not one to be taunted. I am going to hex him. And I'm going to choose dexterity as his as the ability.
Alright.
And then I draw my second short sword, and I'm gonna attack the sucker.
Alright, the first one hits.
Okay.
Alright, so he takes 10?
Plus 1d6 from
Yeah.
the hex.
That's what it has, piercing and cold.
That's
Well,
26 from the hex.
sword. That's the sword, and then one's my blood right, and then one's from the hex.
Okay, so 10 plus 3.
13.
Alright. Alright. Not to be outdone by his willing dervish, you then sort of Final Fantasy style just draw your cold blade across the deck of the ship, putting a shower of ice in front of you, and in that moment you just start stabbing into this man. He is nimble at dodging, but you can still see your blade cutting right through his leather, right through some of his belts, actually watching pieces of him sort of fall off his armor and whatnot. It hurts, and you can see him visibly bleeding, but there's still that crazed look in his eye. He wants this. Alright, Alright, and we are at... Actually, well... Since none of you are defending the captain's going to enter initiative. He's going to frustratingly kick a small block in so it blocks the steering wheel. He's going to walk over to this asshole who is on his ship. And he's just going to say, if you can't do it right, you got to do it yourself. And he just slits this man's throat while he's bewildered by the giant who left his sight.
Looks like he needs my help.
Like he said, nothing was going to take him down. And so he's going to go back to his steering wheel, undo the block, and return driving the ship. This is a Tuesday for this man. Armax. You see a blood-raged captain and your friend being chewed on by lizards.
Well, if that's what's happening, let's see. How many feet could I run?
You can run 25. You can fly 60.
All right, fly 60. And how much was the drift? Would you say like one space for 60?
About one space if it's vertical or horizontal.
That'll work. Well,
All right, which one are you targeting?
which one was the most beat up?
The one directly in front of you.
Yeah, let's just. I just want him to die.
Oh, also because I forgot to do this, roll a d20.
Oh.
Ruh-roh.
Alright, you're fine. You throw a firebolt into the back of him, and you can actually... This should burn things, right? But this thing is just covered in such mucus and slime, it's almost like the firebolt hits, but it's more physical damage than fire. It still hurts him, you can actually see a chunk of him fall off. And he's sort of hobbling onto one leg, but he's still standing. He's got his orders from his captain, he's going to follow him. Bonus action move.
I don't think I have anything I can really do with the bonus action, so can I move right over here?
Alright. You're just going to go back up to the captain.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see the captain. See how Captain Crunch is doing.
Captain Crunch.
Christo.
He's Captain fucking Crunch.
He's Captain Christo of the Saint Monty, and you will respect him.
This is Captain Crunch, and that other guy is that French bad guy from Captain Crunch.
The leader of the Soggies?
No, that was Kool-Aid.
Alright. Bran? I hate to tell you, but... the pirate captain don't like what you did to him.
Let's do it.
Once again, whirling dervish. 24, 11, 20.
Two of those hit, so 10 damage.
You take another 10 as he spins the other way, like literally like a top, on one heel, actually using the water beneath him as a pivoting point. And he once again just starts putting little nicks and cuts into your armor everywhere. And as he stops, he just sort of stares you right in the eyes, dead and silent, licking his lips.
And then he puts it in.
He tried to, and that's his turn. Lizards! They're not looking too good. They only have one thing that's been injured. So they're just going to keep trying to chew on Chuck. The best type of meat. Alright. Chuck, they're not going to be fucking around. Oh. Wait, nope, my bad. They both still have advantage.
How do they both still have advantage?
Blood
Backpack?
Frenzy.
Oh.
They have advantage on anything that doesn't have full hit points. Alright, his spear hit, but he has to roll again for his bite. Alright, 18 for 2. I presume that hits.
Yeah.
And you take another 2 plus... Wait. Okay, 7 plus 8. So that's a 15 plus... So you take 17. As this one drives a spear into the side of you, you can almost feel it getting really close to something important, and then right as you turn to look, he just snaps onto your arm. Just like a rabid dog is just shaking it back and forth, back and forth. This is gonna scar. The guy behind you thinks his friend's got this, and is gonna turn to the newly acquired giant. Alright. Too many fucking pages open. Unit? He's coming at you. Does a 13 hit?
No.
Does a 6?
Yeah, no.
Alright. Furiously, this thing is flailing at you with claws and spears, but your sword is just parrying them left and right. It'd be comical if it wasn't kind of horrifying. For him, he should be terrified. Bandits are dead, so it's Chuck. One of them's chewing on you. The other one's not.
Good to know. Start
Sweet.
punching the one that's chewing on me.
Alright.
Alright.
He looks fucked as hell.
But he's gonna get getting fucked because I'm gonna burn Moxie points, give him the old one too. Burn a Moxie point, do the old one too. There we go. Fisty. Cups. And more fisty.
And now he's
I'll
dead.
take one. Okay, cool. And I get to activate now fucking bloodied and unbowed. Or bloody but unbound. So I get pugilist plus I get 10 hit points.
Oh. Alright, so like a fighter, you, a master of close quarters combat, just shake this fetid corpse off. Not fetid. You shake this slimy corpse off of your arm, and just flex, and teeth just start popping out of all of your wounds, almost stitching them together. Your vigor is enough to keep you going on for much longer. They ruled the day they messed with you.
That's right.
Unit, there is a small lizard-like dog that's trying to hit you. It's adorably failing.
I just laugh a little and look at my quarterstaff and be like, one more time.
All right, you hit him.
And
You kind of just Rafiki bop him on the top of the skull, and it kind of stuns him for a moment.
I didn't draw my dagger earlier, but I'll ready my dagger for the next one.
All right.
And I'll just look at this guy and be like, that's all you got.
You have a stick a dagger, and a 4-foot-long bastard sword. The word overkill is non-existent in this world. Bran,
Okay.
the captain's looking at you, and he really doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon.
Who can blame him? I am gonna attack him again. We're having a dance with swords. May as well continue.
And those both hit. Roll damage.
And that's 2d6 as well.
Your Hunter's Mark, is that a spell?
The hex?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hex is a spell.
Did you have that up when he attacked you last?
Yes, but it is not a concentration spell.
Alright. Hot damn, that's broke. Alright, so how much is he taking?
So, 10, 16, 24 points of damage.
Fucking hell. The subtle nicks along your arms and face have stopped bleeding, and instead the blood actually begins to pool into your arm, and you can feel an outside force driving your blades. With absolute precision, you are driving it right into where you think his lungs would be, right into where his kidney is, even actually sort of severing one of the fingers off of his hand. He's pretty fucked. And I'm going to have to ask you to roll Unnerving Rapport.
Okay.
Is Alright. Alright. Don't worry, it's a 0 to this. Even with your freaky, blood-cursed, creepy hunter magic, he still thinks he's got this. Sort of. He doesn't have much of a crew, but he's worked from harder. Alright. Captain's turn. He's driving the boat. Armax.
Okay.
One of your friends is fighting a childhood pet. The other one is fighting a Blend Tech blender.
Well, then we'll just have to do something about that. I want to shoot a magic missile at the Blend Tech blender.
Alright, roll for it. Oh no, just roll damage. All three of them at him?
Oh, yes.
Alright. Brad, as you're stabbing into this man, you take a second to just pull back, and you see the captain stand up full, actually raising his arms kind of like a bear would. Just come at me, bro. As 3 arcane lawn darts just peg him in the skull. He actually takes a step to the side, losing his footing a little bit as he's dazed and now bleeding out his ear. Or what used to be his ear. This guy's kind of fucked.
What's the matter? We should have it.
But it's his turn. And if he wasn't challenged by this hunting asshole, he'd probably go try and kill fucking Chuck.
Nah, focus on me. Let's do this.
Hold on a second. I want to do one last thing with my turn real quick.
Oh yeah, you gotta roll d20.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna make you do that every damn time, because we both want it to happen. Alright, now what do you
Oh,
want?
yes, we do.
Wait, why'd you roll it twice?
Oh,
Because he wants twice as much failure, clearly.
Wait, what are you doing?
I know what it is. It's my bind key.
Oh.
It's an enter key, and it's fucking with this. It wasn't doing that before. I'll rebind it to a different thing.
Good call. You rolled an 11, so there's no wild magic. What else did you want to do?
I want to be the captain now.
You fly over to his ship. All right.
Hey guys, look at me! I got a boat. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
All right. The captain, paying no mind, is really into ending this hunter. Like you have earned his scorn, and in a fair duel, he is going to rip you a new asshole. I presume the 7 hits.
Depends. The 16 matches my armor class.
That's a hit. So you take the 7 as his dagger is the one that he... The Whirling Dervish trick is getting old. But that dagger just comes in right underneath your armor, right into where your stomach is. If you weren't as lean as you are, it would have been very bad. But right now, he just has a dagger right into like an inch and a half from where your stomach is. It is in you. You are bleeding.
Yeah.
But that's it. And...
Whew.
Yeah, roll Unnerving Rapport again. Like... His dagger, meeting where it should kill you, and you still standing. He freezes. He looks around and realizes the blood on the floor is not of his conquest. He raises both hands and just goes, "Parlay." He knows when the fight's out, and he surrenders. Even his little mutt just sort of looks back, chewing on Ynit's blade, as fruitless as that is, and it too just sort of whimpers over next to its captain. The fight's over.
I'm going to raise my swords to his neck and say, "You have 5 seconds to give me a convincing enough reason why I should let you live." 1, 2, 3, 4.
This would be murder? And hunters ain't murderers? I surrendered.
Yeah, now I'm going to slit his throat.
Alright, roll for it.
Oh, but it's not his turn.
Fuck. If there was 1 point lower, he could have parried it. Nope, you...
Do I not get advantage with the fact that he's surrendered?
Oh, that's a... Well, yeah, no, I was giving you advantage. That's what I was to say. If it was a 16, he could have parried it.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you... I was gonna ask how you want to do this, but it's just like... You told me.
Yeah.
You just... Go ahead.
Yeah, just 2 swords right across the front of his neck, back to his spine.
With each blade across his neck, you just draw them back slightly until both of their points overlap, and you drive it through him. You actually lift one sword and lower the other, and just pull apart his neck, and his head just tumbles off over the ladder and into the sea. Seeing this, his dog is now going to attack you. Because you killed his captain.
But it's his turn?
Combat has ended.
Well, and I wanted to attack him before that happened.
Oh. Alright, go ahead then. You would have hit before he does.
In like a ballet pirouette, I take my quarterstaff and I drive it up under his chin, so it exposes his chin, and then I drive my dagger up under his chin.
Yeah, you peel them apart like a Thanksgiving turkey. My friends, You have warded off a pirate invasion.
And we got a ship.
And yes, I suppose you now have a ship. Although, looking at the steering wheel, you now notice that in order to get it steady, he actually broke it, and now the only thing holding it to this ship is the ladders. If you had knocked them off, the ship would have left.
Get some rope, guys. We're gonna tow this fucker into port.
Seeing this, the Captain Crystal's going to be looking over, and he's going to start commanding his men to go scavenge the ship.
Quickly, follow me into the main bilge. Here.
You basically have a minute before his guys basically overfill it. And you do still have some corpses next to you.
You know what we could do? If Chuck gets on the other side of the thing and remove the other one, we can steal the ship before he does.
The GM very lightly told you this ship is not saleable. Yeah.
Oh, you said GM. I thought you said... Wait, did you say GM? Because I heard General Manager.
Game Master, Dungeon Master, same thing.
Okay, I heard General... That acronym, I think General Manager, to which I imagine going in there and there's just like some guy managing the rudder changes. Like, no, man, it just doesn't work. It's broken.
Is that a real dinghy on the back of it?
Yeah, you can actually see that on the back of it there is a sort of escape vessel.
Yeah, I want to take that. I want to tie it up to our boat.
Oh, you're just gonna tie it on, or you're just gonna go in and investigate it?
Well, I'm gonna like jump on it, bring it over to our ship, tie it off, and then search what's on it.
All right.
I'm going to give a nod, Yanit, expressing my gratitude in the best way I know possible, and then I am going to search the captain.
All right. In this order, Armax, roll investigation. Yanit, if you're actually going to be looking over the ship, the small dinghy, roll investigation. Bran, roll perception.
Just trying to find what the captain might have scratched on this bad boy.
All right. Bran, you start scavenging the bodies a little bit, and you do find that they have a sizable amount of loot. And wait, why can't I? Wait, what level am I on? Wait. Okay. Well, first and foremost, Unit, you actually do find something.
Give me the loot. Give me loot. Give me loot.
Yeah.
All the rum you could ever want.
Damn it. Okay, is that visible on the little dinghy? Oh, it is.
Tiny treasure chest? Yeah.
That should have been on the GM's lair. Never mind.
I saw nothing.
You know what? It's a low-level encounter. You're fine. All right, opening the small chest, which you find actually underneath a wooden crate that looks like it was functioning as a seat, you find a carved wooden staff with intricate drawings, some leather ribbon, a leather talisman looking to be sort of druidic in nature, a silk coat, a ceramic box probably used for some sort of burial ritual, a painted glass box, which is a fine jeweler's make, an iron necklace, a pewter choker, and 2 small vials.
Please tell me you can just copy and paste that to me.
I can. I actually put that on the chest. And since there's a potion maker on you, it's not hard to figure out what they are. Alright, you search the captain? The captain has 10 electrum on him.
Oh.
Yep. And in fact, searching all the bodies, they do have small amounts of coin. If someone wants to write this down, there's also 6 silver, 12 silver, 13 gold, and 13 copper. Yeah, this wasn't this wasn't a very well-funded crew. Armax, you find that the hold is almost completely bare. What little is still here are just barrels of kind of rotted food and old ale. This ship was probably this ship probably should have been abandoned, but here it was just sort of haphazardly put together like a reaver vessel.
He didn't even have anything in the captain's quarters.
Small bits of map and ink, but honestly, it's kind of worse than what your accommodations are. This was probably more of an act of desperation as opposed to an act of profit.
I light the bilge on fire.
Are you actually going to fucking do that?
We'll let everyone get off first.
Thank you. Dang, everything's gonna be on fucking fire. All right, Unit, I assume you take the chest for yourself and your friends.
Of course.
All right. Which, as large as you are, it's actually not weird to have. Hold on. It would fit. It would fit. I'm going to tell you that. It's barely, but it will fit. So yeah.
Oh, in my fanny pack? It'll fit.
Yes.
I shove that in my fanny pack.
Yeah.
You have a fanny pack of holding.
Well, actually,
Perhaps.
you would have seen it, Bran. It is something in elven cultures as incredibly tacky, and you find it kind of hilarious that a large man is wearing what is ostensibly a leather belt with this small purse glued to the front of it and two small pouches to the side. In elven
Okay.
cultures, this is the equivalent of wearing socks with sandals.
Hey, my Batman fanny pack, okay?
Okay, I didn't say anything.
We're all friends here, man. It's okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you can just barely fit that, but you can feel it taking up a lot of space. And the rest of you get the loot that's on them. And other than that, there's
Did the captain have anything?
Yeah, the captain had 13 electrum.
Oh, okay.
He was the richest of them all. Oh.
Alright. Now what do I do?
Now Armax gets to burn a boat down.
All right. After Captain Christo takes it for any small supplies that it has, which he does take a few storage crates. He does take a few other things that Armax may or may not have missed with his crew. And then he actually gives you a bottle of old-ass liquor and just tells you to burn it. He kicks the ladders off, and after he takes the small dinghy with, Unit throws him the rope to the small dinghy and they tie it off. You just set the thing ablaze, like a Viking funeral.
I assume not even using the old ass liquor.
Sure. I mean, the unfortunate part is it's still not being able to steer, so it does stay nestled against your ship a little longer than you would hope. As the fire starts to burn and start catching onto its sail, the captain eventually goes over to the side and kicks it a little, and the other ship just sort of sails off into the distance before sinking into nothingness.
No. He kicked it and our boat moved.
Whatever totes your goat.
Buoyancy.
How does that work? Alright. So, as you collect your spoils, I presume you're going to share, or are you just going to hold it to yourself? Your cabin is your own, and no one actually enters it, except for you four.
Well, I mean, I'm not sharing with the crew.
No, I mean, the crew does not get in. Only you four have access to your room.
I mean, I'll dump out the stuff in that room and we can go through it if anybody wants any of this stuff.
Yeah, I want to know what's next.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
And
Chuck Manley is all about the spoils of battle.
And Bran has what he got off the pirates.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out all the money I found on the bodies.
Alright,
What's the shiniest?
that would actually be the Electrum, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, we'll split that.
It is also worth the second most out of all of it. I believe it's 2 electrum to the gold. Yes.
Something like that.
It is. Good. I've got this DM screen.
As I'm dumping this stuff in the room, I'm ritual casting Identify to see if any of this is magical.
The only thing that pop up is the potion of climbing and the healing potion.
Okay, so this is all just normal stuff. I don't know if anyone wants to keep this stuff, maybe sell it later. I don't know. Looks like it may be worth something. But we got 2 potions.
It's some finely crafted stuff.
When we get to the new land, we can sell most of this and split it between the rest of us.
Yeah, I doubt any of us wants to go walking around in a silk coat.
Well,
You never know when a silk coat might come in handy. Or a painted glass box, whatever the hell that means.
Unfortunately, the Lich's heart could only be pierced by a painted glass box. His one weakness was tchotchkes.
See, now I'm thinking of a tchotchke maze, and that sounds amazing.
Oh my god, now I'm imagining a Lich hiding his heart in like a bunch of tchotchkes.
Be genius.
Like, it's just a massive room filled to the brim with knickknacks and bric-a-brac that you find at like every single Six Flags in place.
Alright. Well, other than that, the sale is roughly unimpeded. Now, unless there's anything else you guys want to try and do, I have one last thing I can do, and then we can probably call it for the night.
Unless anybody wants to break into the captain's cabin.
no, that's not really something I do.
Once again, there's still a big glowing rune that all of you arcane touched can see it means fuck off.
I do like how he's like spending no money for any locks except for the fuck off lock.
And you do see that a decent portion of what was taken off that ship, half of it goes to his room and the other half went to the blue circle. There wasn't much, but there was still some.
Okay, now I'm just curious, what's in the blue circle now?
It is indeed locked again. So, unless you guys really want to do this...
I'm good. I don't need to break into a room. It's obviously sealed by magic.
No. The blue circle is beneath deck.
Oh, no. I'm good.
Alright. Bran? Chuck Manley?
No, I'm good.
I desperately need rest. As soon as the loot is settled, I am going to
Oh, this is
do
over
my best.
this is over the course of the next 2 weeks.
Because I have 5 hit points left.
I almost had you.
You were close. You were close.
He really kept hitting you a lot.
Alright, so Armax, are you going to try and pickpocket your way into the blue circle?
Wasn't the blue circle the one that just had a chuck that turned?
That was the one that had nothing in it, but part of what they took off the ship went into there.
Yeah, that one just had a chuck, so they wouldn't have to pickpocket anything.
No, I mean, not pickpocket. There's a simple lock.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Alright, how are you going to pick it? Because it is, once again, locked proper.
Let's see. Well, you just needed to stick a piece of metal in it, didn't you?
That's what I did.
Yeah, I'll just stick a piece of metal in it.
Kind of hoping you weren't going to pay attention to that.
I was going to pay attention to how you opened a door.
Alright, if you can find something to put in there, you can open it.
Dagger.
Way too thick. You need something that's like 1/4 inch.
Anybody got a bobby pin?
I mean, Chuck is the one who had it last.
Chuck, can I borrow your bobby pin?
Chuck has a set of thieves' tools. He does not just hand that out.
That's why I asked for the bobby pin.
I
You're
might have
basi-
something. Hold on.
I imagine it's a bobby pin that he uses for his mustache.
No, he actually has a small goblin that lives in his backpack that does it for him.
He has one of those. He has one of those ornate mustache guards that like people in the Edwardian era had.
Right. Are you?
I
Are
mean,
you?
that's not a thing. I don't have that.
Nah,
Uh,
Right.
Yeah, fuck it.
You're not gonna open it?
Nah, fuck it. Unless like, it's either that or I bust the door down, and that probably will get me in trouble.
All right. The door remains shut.
Yeah.
So then, after the next 2 weeks, mostly uneventful, although some of the crew congratulates you on the bloodshed that you had. And after wounds getting licked, you then come across a brand new sight.
Kraken.
You come across the sea right before Portcullis. And the rest of that you don't really know yet, so ignore it. But yes, this is the map.
It's pretty cool.
And I think that's what we're going to call it for the night.
Sweet.
Fuck, I almost had you. I want to at least down somebody.
I really, I think it's weird how the wizard